In this video, we will see how to sculpt a dragon. So it will not be only one tutorial, but it will be a series of tutorials. So here we will sculpt dragon. It will be good for beginners, okay, to learn how to use a basic workflow to sculpt anything that you want to sculpt, okay? So it's a good way to start and see a little the tools of Blender, and you will see that during the video. So let's go there, and the first thing that we will do, we'll just remove this. We have just a basic interface of Blender. We will just make with Ctrl+2 here, you will see the shortcuts over there. With Ctrl+2 you will just increase that the level of subdivision at 7, and we will apply that just like this. Okay, then you can use reference image in case you want. It's not mandatory, but you can do it. So let's drag an image reference here, and with Alt-R, Alt-G, okay, we'll put it in the center with no rotation, X 90 degrees and RZ 90 degrees. And into the side view, I would like to sculpt that one, and it's inverted. So into the image here, I think you can just invert here the size more or less. I'm not sure. Show in perspective, depth, side, both. No, it seems not, but we can make a SY -1 just to make something like that. So let's go here, and like this we'll have transparency enable. We can go here in sculpt mode directly, or you can go into the sculpting interface dedicated here, okay? So still in orthographic view and with the side view here, okay? I will just go into screencast keys to re-enable the shortcuts, and you will see what's happened now, okay? So what we will do, we will use here the X symmetry, and we will use the grab tool. So here I will just only use the general here tools that we have. So now I will focus on that one. You can use whatever, and you can put whatever image here. It's just to train yourself to have a better understanding of the tools here. So what we can do in object mode here is just put this over there and scale it until you have more or less the size of the neck, okay? Something like this might be cool. Now I come back in sculpt mode, and I will use the grab tool, and with F I can change the scale of my tool just like this. So basically what we want here is to have the neck and the top of the head over here, okay? So what we can do for that, we can just make maybe the neck like this, and we can take here just the border of the object and move it like this. Good. And we will need several shapes like that to create our dragon, just like this, okay? So now we have more or less what we want for the neck. Good. Basically, it looks like this. Good. So now what we would like is add another object, and it will be the same. So you can add a cube, or you can add here a mesh into the extra object. You enable the add-on extra object, and you can use a round cube as well. So and you just have to increase the number here to have more vertices. So let's go into 32 until you have enough. But yeah, a cube or whatever with a subdivision surface will work as well, okay? So let's go there and increase that, level at 2 maybe, apply this, okay? We have a good number here, and now I will make the top of the head here. So let's go there and maybe scale it down a little, not that much, but just to put it here, okay? And then after, into sculpt mode over here, I will re-enable the X, don't forget that, and then I will just drag the shape with the grab tool over here, just to have the top of the head, just like that, okay? So then I can just move this around like this, Okay, drag the shape, you can zoom in, and like this you will have more precision with the shape that you want. Okay, and then you make the same for the top here to have really this line over here that we have. Okay, it's just really basic shapes. Don't try to go with details here. It's just blocking shapes here. Very simple. So you will have something like this. We will move this after more, but more or less you will have something like that. What is good with this technique is that you can just select that one, for example, and just make a duplication of it. So we make Shift D, okay? And then in edit mode, we want to invert this. So we make a SZ -1. Like this, it will be the inverted shape like this. And now with this shape, I can make a rotation like that and just put back this like it will be the jaw here. So let's go and create the jaw shape. And now we can come back in sculpt mode and then start to create again the shape that we want. So we won't go too far here. We will create something a little thinner, something like that maybe might be cool, and make the same kind of shape over there. Yeah, it will be okay. Just really simple, basic shape, okay? So we'll have intricate shapes just like this. Good. So now what we can do, we can re-enable, remove the transparency here. What we can do here in that shape, we can make Shift N to recalculate normals, okay, in edit mode with all selected. And now just with the here into sculpt mode, you can just go there and drag things to make the shapes looks better, okay? So this is a little too big, okay? What you can do as well, if you want to not go always to object mode and sculpt mode and etc. So you go here into edit and you remove the lock object modes like this. Like this, you can go in sculpt mode in several objects. Like this one, you go in sculpt mode. Like this one, you go in sculpt mode as well. And when you click on this one, it will sculpt that one, okay? And when you click on that one, it will sculpt that one. So it's good, you can rename shapes if needed, okay? So it's good to have kind of basic shape like that. Maybe just with the transparency here, look where are the eyes, like this, okay? Like this you can start to create a shape for the eyes here over there. So make this part a little thinner. We don't want a crocodile here, okay? Same for here. Basically it has to follow more or less here the shape, okay? And then you start to have something interesting here. Good. So we have our basic shape for the three main shapes over there. Good. Now maybe just a little bit here for the cube. Yeah, let's go and see this inside view. Start to make this a little to have something that looks like this. Good. Now we have this. So now we would like here the this part over there, okay, between the jaw here. So I don't know how I don't know what's the name of this, but let's go for create it. So let's go for it. For this, we'll just go into object mode again and just take these parts here, okay, and we will have just a simple shape. So it could be just a cube, it will work for that, okay. For example, you take a cube like this, and we will use another technique that we didn't see yet. So I will make an SX, sorry, to make it thinner. Good. And then I will just scale it down, move it here where I need it to be, where it needed to be, okay? So somewhere around here, let's say. Good. So now I would like to make it here into the x-axis. So I will make a gx and a rz maybe. Just like this, it will follow more or less here the jaw, okay? And just by move it here, we'll have this kind of shape just like that. Good. So now what we can do is add a modifier. Is not add a modifier actually. We will just make Control A, apply all transforms. Good. And with this now we can add a modifier, generate mirror. And like this we'll have the same object into the other side. We can apply the mirror here and we will come back into sculpt mode as well. So what we can do here is we don't have enough geometry to sculpt here. It's just a cube. We don't have nothing to add some geometry. So we'll use the remesh. This is the first thing that you can use. The second thing that you can use, we did add some subdivision in the beginning here to add some vertices. So I will just show you here how it is with the wireframe view. You can see here more or less in details how it works. Okay, so here we don't have any geometry to sculpt on. If you use the remesh option, you can just add some geometry in this and sculpt it directly. So it's very simple to use and I will show you that. So with R, you will choose the size here, okay? And with R and drag, you will choose the size more or less that you want to sculpt on. So if you want, you can just go there and just select this part and it will apply directly a good value here. Or you can use R and just decrease by just make a click and drag like that. And that's what we will use here over here. Let's say we'll use something like that. Good. So now I can make Control R and it will just remesh everything. And now I can start to sculpt on this. So let's go back here into our classic viewport without wireframe. What you can do here and what I like to do is add this here by making a right click and put it into the quick favorites. Like this with Q, you can just go to wireframe directly here. Okay, you can see it like that. And then you just apply here a smooth. So with Shift key, oh sorry, and we have to enable here the good value here, okay? And now you can start to sculpt this part, okay? Good. Looks good already. We don't need to put a lot, so let's go inside view and see if it still has the good shape. Okay, move it a little. Try to make this kind of arch here. And let's see the result here without the empty over there. Okay, so we'll have this kind of shape. It's not that bad. Maybe put it a little outside here. You can make it thinner if needed. Okay, so in that case, you just have to use here here you have here the inflate deflate. So with control click here, you will deflate the geometry and make it thinner, as you can see. So like this, we will have a better shape. Good. So now we have already something that looks interesting. And just with this now, we can continue our sculpting. So what I would like, basically, I will come back to this and maybe put it a little over there with the grab, a little more here. Same for this one. Okay, it's in object mode. And like that, we will continue our basic shape. Good. So now what we would like is to add the horns. So for the horns, I will use another technique. I will use a very simple one. And this technique, we can hide this for the moment. Okay, and hide this as well. Put everything into the same collection. You can rename your objects. It's always important. So let's say here, it's the neck. Okay. Here, let's say it's the link between the jaw. This one is the top head. And this one is the jaw. Good. So with this like this, it's easier to manage if in case you are lost. Okay, and now I would like to make the horns here that we have over there. So I will use just a curve for that, and I like to use the path curve. It's a very powerful one. So in edit mode, we'll make a rotation X 90 degrees, Z, sorry, 90 degrees. Okay, and into side view, we will just move everything with J, scale everything, have the global scale of this here, of the top one here over there. So let's go for that and add a modifier. No, not add a modifier. Let's go here and let's go into geometry. Into the object, we can increase the depth. Okay. And while you have this, you can use here the fill caps like this. It will fill the geometry on both extremities here. Now we go into transparency mode and into the side view. We can just use the Alt S to make things thinner where you need. Okay, so I would like to make this kind of curvy shape here like that. And maybe we'll add more. So with Alt S, we can reduce and increase the size where you need. Okay. So let's say you want to have a kind of shape like this. Good. Let's move this down a little. Good. And now you can just draw what you need to draw with this. So I can increase a little the size of this, increase a little the size. This I will decrease it like this. I will not have too much geometry inside. So just to have this kind of basic shape like that. Okay, if you want, you can just add some geometry by subdivide this and create more curvy shape or less curvy shape if needed. Okay, as you can see, it's not that complicated to do, and like this you can use more precise shape. Okay, this one starts to be good, and now I have the basic shape of my horn. Okay, maybe a little Alt S on that one. Good. So let's try to create the next one here. So we can use the same technique and create another object, or you can use everything into the same object. So what I will do, I will just duplicate this. And just we scale it and Alt S the global. Here I will make a rotation J and put this into the extremity and start to build my shape. Same way, same thing, not complicated, just follow the geometry where needed. Okay. So here we have something very easily that works well as well. Maybe we can try to make another one here, that one, the little one here. So for this, we will just make Shift D again, Alt S, scale it down. Okay, with a rotation, put it there and build your shape as I did here, the same way. So it's important to have a good blocking in the beginning. Like this, you will really have a nice curvy shape in the end. And it will be something easier to manage. Okay, good. Maybe I would like to curve that one a little more. So I will just move it down a bit. Just like this. Good. So we have three shapes like that. Maybe I will add a little horn over there. It will be more little, this one. So we'll make Shift D, scale it down, Alt S, and we have a global shape here. Good. So now what we would like to do is come back with our basic shapes here. And let's go back here with all our shapes. What we want with this is add a modifier generate mirror. Like this, when I take a curve here with L, I can make GX and it will have the right here, the right shape here, as you can see. Okay, so I put it out here. I take the next one here, L, GX, LZ, GX again, and you can see that already we have a nice dragon shape. Another one, maybe that one, GX, just put it out, LZ, to put it a little more like this. Okay, maybe GX a little, just to have something like that. You don't have to follow everything like the image, so make it yourself, make your own dragon here. Just take some inspiration just like this, just to have a basic shape, and then after you will just can move this everything and create your own. Okay, LZ just like this, just to have a little here horn over there. And so now we have this global shape. What I would like to do here before starting real sculpting, I would like to create the inside of the mouth. So for that, I will use a technique, a simple technique here, and I will show you that. So the first thing we would like to do is to create a line here. So let's go into that one, let's go into sculpt mode. Maybe we can hide a little the empty over there, and we can start to make the shape that we will need. Good. So here, what I would like is to create here the gum. Okay. So for this, I will need to sharpen a little this space. So I will use here the crease sharp. I will go there into the tools here, and I will decrease the strength and see a little how it will be if I sharpen this. So to sharpen, you can see that you draw like this, and to sharpen things, to sharpen an angle like this, you can use Control click, and it will just create a more sharp here side like this. Okay, it's something like that that we want, and you can make the same here for the top head. Okay, so on the top head here, you can just create a line over there. You just follow the geometry, nothing crazy. Okay, simple one. What you can do now is to create something with a simple technique that is very efficient. So this technique is here, the mask tool. So what we will do, we will push this a little inside. So we will make a selection here, and we will draw our selection. So with just a click, we can draw a thing like this. Okay, let's say we'll have this. If you want to go in isolation mode, you can go in isolation mode like that. It will be easier. Okay, and then with Control click, you can remove some just to have a good border here. So we would like something not too far from the border, and like this we can just try to create a shape and to push things inside, and then after we will push out the gum. So first of all, we will have to make the right selection. So okay, we have a nice selection here. If you want, you have some tools to sharpen the mask. You have a lot of here options over there into the mask section here, and we will see that. But the one that we will use here is the mask here, invert mask. Okay, like this, we'll have this. Now what we would like is to make with the filter tool, the mesh filter tool, you can see that you have the inflate mode, and if you click and drag, you will push this out or push this in. And what we want first is to push this in a little. okay, not too much. Then after, into the mask, we will grow the mask. And we will grow it maybe 2 times. Okay? And then we will push it out. So let's go here, and with the inflate now, we will push this out like this. Okay? As you can see, this will be the gum, more or less. And now we come back to the mask, and we go again with the grow mask. Again with the grow mask until we have the inside like this. It will be, this will be the thickness of the gum. So take a little more, maybe. Okay, maybe something like this, a little more again. You can come back to it if needed and draw a little, just the mask with the mask tool. Okay, and draw a little more if you need in some space to add the teeth after. Okay, good. And so now we'll have this, and we can go again with the inflate here and push this inside. So what gives us, it's this kind of shape now. And when you finish with that, you can increase a little more this. Okay, when you finished with that, you can come back here without the mask with Alt M. You can clear the mask with Alt M. What we can do now is remesh this. So with Control R, with R first, we will choose the right size. Maybe it will be something like that. And with Control R, we will make the remesh. Okay, good. Maybe the size is not enough. So let's come back here. Maybe put 0.005. Okay, don't go too low and too quick. You have to make some remesh. Yeah, something like that might be cool. Okay, now we can smooth everything by choosing whatever tool you want here, and we can smooth things to make it more organic and look better. Okay, so let's go there, smooth everything, and we will have our gum. Good. So now with this, we can come back without isolation here, and we will make exactly the same process over here with the low part over there. So let's go here and add this, and maybe we can move things a little more outside this after, but let's go here into the jaw, make the selection that you need in the beginning, go into isolation mode to see a little what you are doing, and let's go into mask, make your mask here. Okay, just follow more or less the shape. Good. When you made the mask, you just have to as to not be too far from the border. Okay, and that's it. So now what you can do, you can come back here and with Control Y, invert the mask, come back here into the inflate, go down a little, just a little, not too much. With the mask, grow mask 2 times, go up a little. Okay, this will be the gum itself, so a little outside, and mask, grow mask again a few times this time. So with Shift R, that, yeah, it works. So you can remake this, and when you have the right size, you can make this one here and push this down. Then we can create the tongue after. So now we have this shape we can with Alt M hide everything, unhide everything, go into the remesh with R, we will choose the size, but it should be more or less the same here, that from 0.05 maybe, and with Control R we can remesh everything. Now we can just take whatever tool here and make it more smooth, just like this, to have a basic here. Okay, a basic shape like that. So now let's come back with everything, and now we have this kind of shape. Looks already better, okay? And what we can do now is just this one over there. So the link here, we can come back with our grab tool, and it will be the last operation here. So we'll push this out a little bit to have this over this. Good. Then after we will make the link of everything. Looks good for me. And now we can continue, and it will be into the next video. So it's already half an hour. I will make half an hour videos more or less, and into the next video we will create more precise shapes. So, and we will make only one object. Okay, so this will be the topic of the next video, but already we have a nice shape for continue sculpting a dragon. Let's go for it.